It is time to sound the alarms. Derrick White is an all-star. It is official. This guy has been disrespected this whole entire season, being left off the ESPN Top 100 boards at the beginning of the year and being set as the starting point guard for this Boston Celtics team before Jrue Holiday arrived. This man was known to be the next coming up and this X factor for this Boston Celtics team. And he's been disrespected, saying he's not playing at an all-star level and he's not that guy, going through shooting slumps. But he has been putting on fantastic performances for this Boston Celtics team. And we're here to break it down for you guys on this episode of Celtics Digest. But before we dive into that, I would like to say that 78.7% of our viewers are not subscribed. And would greatly appreciate it if you hit that big old red subscribe button and joined the Boston Celtics Digest family. We recently just hit 3,000 subscribers, so if you want to make sure you stay up to date on daily Boston Celtics content and coverage, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as you definitely will not regret it. But let's dive into this post-game reactions of this Celtics game here as we dive in, looking at stop sleeping on this all-star. Now I want to preach about Derrick White because a lot of fans have this kind of resignation that Derrick White is this savior, he's this god for this Celtics team, and I realistically think that he's been performing at an all-star level for this Celtics roster. He's been that X factor, that third kind of guy when some Celtics have injuries, and he's really been the most consistent Celtic on both sides of the ball. In last night's game versus the New Orleans Pelicans in the first half of the back-to-back, the Celtics were in a little bit of a slump, but Derrick White led that comeback late in the fourth quarter after missing all throughout the third quarter and quote-unquote shooting slump. This man came out and found his rhythm in the fourth quarter. Joe Mazzulla praised Derrick White, saying that he needs to find his rhythm, keep going at it, not to get frustrated, as he is a great guy for the Boston Celtics and he will find his light. And he truly did that in the fourth quarter for the Boston Celtics last night. In tonight's game, he did the same thing, starting off the game for the Boston Celtics fantastically, putting up 15 points. And the disrespect on this man needs to stop. This guy has been performing fantastic for the Boston Celtics as of recently. And if we want to look at the stats from tonight's game, you guys can see Derrick White, 8 for 16 from the field, 50%, 4 for 7 from 3, 4 for 4 from free throw, 5 assists, 2 total rebounds with a steal and a block with 24 points. And let's not forget to mention that block was a ceiling block for this Boston Celtics team late in the clutch versus the Indiana Pacers as they were crawling back late in the fourth quarter. Derrick White got a fantastic game. I wouldn't say clinching, but kind of saving and helping out the Boston Celtics. It was very late in the game and definitely stopped a little bit of the momentum for this Indiana Pacers team. Obviously, Derrick White has been performing at an excellent level. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on Derrick White as well. But as we keep diving in, we're going to be exploring some more Celtics that performed greatly in tonight's game. If we want to look at the box score, Jayson Tatum came out on fire for the Boston Celtics, 12 for 19 from the field with 30 total points, 7 total rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 2 total blocks. One main difference from Tatum last night, 7 turnovers compared to his 2. Handling the ball a lot better for the Boston Celtics and being a better facilitator and making his shots. We want to look at Jaylen Brown as well, playing at an efficient level for the Boston Celtics, really being an elite wing for this Boston Celtics team on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. 25 total points with 6 total rebounds and 2 assists with 2 steals. 9 for 15 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, but that is not his specialty. Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis also played great. Kristaps Porzingis, coming back from this little ankle tweak that he had in Miami, had a fantastic game for the Boston Celtics, putting up 17 points and 12 rebounds, getting some nice points in the paint, and also stretching the floor 2 for 6 from 3 and hitting some big-time threes for the Celtics early on in the game to get this momentum running. The Boston Celtics had a fantastic first half, scoring 81 total points in the first half, which was their highest season total of the season, and they also put up an NBA new record. In that 81 points that the Boston Celtics scored in the first half, 75 were scored from their starting 5, and that is the highest amount of points that a starting 5 has put up in an entire first half in the NBA. So I want to congratulate the Celtics as we witnessed some history tonight in this game. We also want to look at some great performances as well. The bench came out and had some fantastic performances. Sam Hauser holding his own 3 for 5 from the field with 9 total points. Brissett bringing that energy, not really scoring, but bringing that rebound and bringing that tenacity on clashing the offensive glass. Payton Pritchard, 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, but 4 total rebounds and 3 assists with 3 total points. And Keita, the main guy that I want to talk about the Celtics bench, 4 total points, 2 blocks with 1 rebound and 2 for 3 from the field. So a lot of Celtics fans are have different takes on Keita. A lot of fans feel that he is very good and they want to see him grow and actually want to take over this Luke Kornet spot. And some fans realize that he needs a little bit more development time. As we've seen Keita kind of get slotted into these games, we've noticed that Keita, to be honest, has been a little lackluster at finishing at the rim, needs a little bit work on the foul side of it, and needs to kind of get his positioning a little bit better to necessarily be the backup center. I feel like Luke Kornet is a little bit fundamentally more sound, is a little bit easier, and has been, in this rotation and understood this rotation a little bit more than Keita, but I really like the energy that Keita brings to this lineup. We saw an effective energy slam from Keita in the fourth quarter to bring this momentum back to this Boston Celtics after he unironically mistouched the ball and kind of got a little in a confusion a bit. But for the Boston Celtics, I ultimately think that Keita, being this third center, is his perfect spot as he needs a little bit more development time. But I think by next season, a guy like Keita could be that impact backup center that this Celtics team needs. He has a lot of flashes of Rob with his nice versatility and his high-flying abilities, being a great offensive rebounder and bringing that energy. I think if he just gets his step a little bit underneath him and can be a little bit better at finishing at the rim, the Celtics will explore that option as well. Let me know your thoughts and comments below on Keita in the comment section down below. As we look more at this post game, looking at the Indiana Pacers side, this was the first game that Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Haliburton had together, and it was a solid effort from both of them. Obviously, Tyrese Haliburton was on a minute restriction, did not play most of the third quarter and late in the fourth. You could say that hindered the result of this Indiana Pacers versus Boston Celtics finish, but he did have a solid outing for them. Also, Aaron Nesmith, the Celtics killer, also had a fantastic performance. 12 total points, 7 assists, and a career high in 26 total points, 11 for 17 from the field. This man just loves to come after this Celtics team. And Pascal Siakam, a guy who goes at it with Jaylen Brown, had an effective night of 23 points as well. Jaylen Brown and him had their jabs back and forth, but it was a fantastic showing to see from that as well. Honestly, the Boston Celtics played a great game tonight. The only takeaways that I have that are a little bit negative is in the third quarter, the Celtics had a little bit of a third quarter collapse, which is usually what we see, especially when we see such a dominant first half on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense started to slow down a little bit in the third quarter, and they definitely did not excel in the offensive rebound category. The Indiana Pacers were able to get a lot of their own offensive rebounds and get a lot of second chance points, which was able to them to fight back in this third quarter and bite back that 20-point halftime lead that the Celtics had entering the third quarter. Ultimately, though, with no Al Horford and no Luke Kornet, that is a little bit expected as the Celtics were a little smaller at the big man and the front court depth, but that could also mean something that the Celtics need to explore that as an exploratory option ahead in the trade deadline, possibly looking at some buyout options or possibly even using that Grant Williams TPE as the Celtics do have that 15th roster spot. But let me know what you guys think of Derrick White and the Celtics' performance tonight versus the Indiana Pacers as the Celtics secure another victory versus the Indiana Pacers in a great, successful back-to-back homestand last night and tonight versus the Pelicans and Pacers. The Celtics gear up for Thursday night to take on their rival in the Western Conference, the Los Angeles Lakers, who we have not seen since Christmas Day, so this will be an emphatic one. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.